Are you looking to get on the road to your dream career? You're in the right place. Welcome to the Mentor Select Podcast with your host, Derek Phillips. Always stay up to date on social media at Mentor Select and online at mentorselect.com. Here's your host of the Mentor Select Podcast, Derek Phillips.
Welcome to episode 56 of the Mentor Select Podcast. I am always honored to have you join us every week for high quality virtual mentorship from our guest mentors who are going to help you follow your passion so you can discover your dream career. If you have not had opportunity to like, subscribe, share the Mentor Select Podcast, please do so on whatever platform you're listening. And don't forget to pick up my first book, Poverty Powerball, Turn Adversity into Your Winning Ticket. It's available on Amazon for $12. I greatly appreciate your support. Well, this episode is very special because I get to interview my beautiful wife, Requill Phillips. She's the guest mentor this week. And Requill, she started a YouTube channel a year ago called the Phillips Fam Baby Journey. And it's doing very well. She just actually made it to 50 episodes. I'm very proud of her. That's a great accomplishment, a huge milestone. And she's just getting started. So this interview, I'm going to let her tell you her story and how she got to the point where she is today. And it's definitely, she shares a lot of gems throughout this entire interview. You don't want to miss a second of it. So enough of me talking. Let's get to the interview with Requill Phillips. Welcome, Requill, to the Mentor Select Podcast.
Thanks for having me.
It's an honor having you. I know you had to come far to our studio.
I know how to walk all the way from one side of the house to the other.
Well, Mentor Select listeners out there, this is a special episode. We're reporting in from our Baby Legacies nursery. And today I get to interview my wife, Requill Phillips. And she's going to tell us about her journey as an entrepreneur, a mom, and just how mentors have impacted her life and what she's doing to pay it forward. So you ready to get this show on the road, Requill?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go. So you've listened to several of my podcasts. You kind of know the format. You know, I love to ask as far as the guests, could you tell us something that most people don't know about you?
If you went to Scott High School in Toledo, Ohio, whoop whoop, Bulldogs, you probably do know this, but in high school, I actually was a disc jockey on the radio. I initially started off going to Start High School, but I wanted to do it one time for the culture. And I transferred to Scott High School because I wanted to be surrounded by my peoples. And the only way I could do that, I had to think of a program that only they had, that no other school in the city had. And that was radio broadcasting.
Okay.
So nobody could deny me going there. But who knew that I would actually enjoy doing it? And even though radio and TV aren't exactly the same, and I'm calling TV my YouTube channel TV, those skill sets still help me.
Definitely. Yeah, I can see it. You got a broadcasting voice and a face made for TV. That's why I had to get the video going on this one. So, Scott High School, it seems like you say you went there for the culture, and it seems like you got a rich history. Tell us a little bit about that. I know you sound like you're a proud bulldog.
I am. It's one of the best high schools in the city of Toledo. Okay, let me not say one. It is the best. I don't need nobody coming for me. But Barack Obama has spoken there, Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Muhammad Ali. It has a rich history. My grandmother actually went to the school and graduated from there. And my baby sister is going to be enrolling there for her junior and senior year as well. So she kind of on my same plan. Go the last 2 years.
Wow. Okay. Awesome. Well, y'all sure the listeners wouldn't have guessed you was a disc jockey, but that's cool.
Yeah, it was a jazz station.
Jazz. So that's why you like smooth jazz. Huh? That's cool. Well, Requill, the reason I invited you to be a guest mentor is because you're celebrating 50 episodes of the Phillips Fam Baby Journey. Congratulations.
I know, that's exciting. I never expected. When I started recording for YouTube, I did it because I used it as a diary. I was going through a lot and I wanted to express myself. And here I am 50 episodes later. I don't even know how I made it through the first episode. It just was me rambling a lot. But people loved how I poured my heart out. And I kept coming up with ideas for shows. And here we are, 50 episodes later.
Oh, that's amazing. Again, congratulations. Remarkable achievement. I know you hear our dog out there moaning. You want to let her in?
Child, she hating. She hating. Hold on.
Well, you're going to be right back.
Come on in if you're coming. And have a seat. Be quiet.
But no, that's awesome. And what's great about that is like legacy. She's going to be, when she get married, she'll be able to look back and know her whole journey, the history of how she came here, and you continue on the channel. And like I said, I'm very proud of you. You inspired me. I almost was about to give up the year mark on the Mentor Select podcast. I feel like, okay, I've done enough. But my wife, she inspired me to keep going, and seeing how she continues to do it every week and just how dedicated and passionate she is about it. I'm like, okay, I got to keep going as well. So thank you for that encouragement.
No, I do what I do when I can do it.
When you can do it. So tell us more about, like, how does it feel just creating something, putting it out there, and then having people respond in a favorable way? What does it feel like?
At first, I was really nervous to release the first episode because I was talking about a subject that was so personal. And if you have not ever watched any episode of the Phillips on Baby Journey, or if you are not familiar with the Mentor Select podcast, as I'm sure he may have, mentioned that we have a daughter that was created via IVF. Before we started the process,
big time.
Our dog is she crazy. But before we started the process, I was feeling as though I was alone in a vacuum, and I knew that there had to be other women who shared my story or would be supportive on my journey. So doing the channel, it definitely was me opening a window to my soul, because I buried it all. And it was like, oh my gosh, are they going to like this? Are they going to watch it? Am I telling too much? Because I'm not a super private person, but no one knew the struggle that I was dealing with. So opening up took a lot for me to do that. And every week I get more comfortable, with sharing what's going on in my life. I'm dancing and I can't dance on YouTube, where millions of people can possibly see it one day. I'm making some crazy videos that my daughter's gonna see and probably cringe at one day. But I'm being me, and I just hope people can accept. And I think that's why a lot of people connect with me, because I am being me. I don't try to, imitate other YouTubers or anybody else I see on TV. I'm just genuinely me and trying to be transparent. And I think that's what's helped me, build an audience. I'm at 655 subscribers so far.
Wow.
I mean, granted, there's people with millions of subscribers out there, and I'm going to be one of them one day, because I'm putting it in the atmosphere, speaking that into existence. But I know there's people that's been at it a longer time than me that have less subscribers. So I'm definitely grateful and appreciative for everybody who watches.
Yeah, and that's a good point, because it's a marathon, and people with those millions of subscribers, really, they've been in it a long time. And that put into context for me, Joe Rogan, he does a podcast, has a YouTube channel, and he's on like show 865 or something. So
wow.
Someone starting out looking at Joe Rogan like, oh man, I want to have his sponsors and millions of subscribers. It does not happen overnight. Starts at that first show, starts at that first, second, third year. 50th episodes, you have to keep going. That momentum is going to continue to build. So
snowball effect.
Snowball effect, certainly. So you're the first YouTube star that we've interviewed on the Mentor Select podcast. So have you had anyone reach out to you yet to actually could they start their own channel?
I have had people do that. It's really simple. My advice is do it. Don't wait until you're in a certain position. Don't wait until you have thousands of dollars to invest on camera equipment and lights. You got a cell phone.
Right.
Make it happen. There's a lot of excuses that you can make every day, but once you decide to stop making excuses and just go for it, you'll be surprised at how successful, you'll probably end up being. Even if you reach one person with your story, you're a success in my eyes. So my thing is start with whatever you have. If you have a cell phone, use that. If you have a Sony Handycam camcorder, use that. If you don't have any lights, make it work the best you can. Try to film during the daylight hours. Well, there's a will, there's a way. The most important thing is to put out good content. Make sure that you think through what it is that you want to tell people on your YouTube channel. What is the messaging that you're trying to get across? Content is king. So as long as you're putting good stuff out there, somebody's going to want to watch it. So just make sure you start as soon as possible, because the sooner you start, the sooner you'll get to that 1 million subscriber mark. Right.
Start today, and it's very important. Like you said, start where you're at. Whatever you have, wherever you at, that's the place to start. Don't try to wait until I'm gonna wait till I get such and such. Just start. So that's very important. As you all know, when I started this podcast, I just got laid off. But okay, I need to start doing something. And here it is today. I'm 55 episodes in. So yeah, we're rocking and rolling. We're a media just moguls over here. So looking forward to that. All right, so. Now you're essentially like a hybrid entrepreneur, what one of my friends call it. You're doing a YouTube channel, and you hopefully ultimately to monetize that, right?
That is correct.
Okay, and then what is your 9 to 5?
I'm a marketing manager at an architectural and engineering firm, and a lot of people have no idea that my profession even exists, because essentially I manage the proposal process. If the city of Dallas wants to build a new library, they can't hire whoever's the cheapest or their best friend. They have to hire the most qualified firm. So I am the individual who puts together our proposal that demonstrates why we are the most qualified. So I, work with the architects and engineers to get project information, to emphasize, we have the skill set. I'll do their resumes. But I put together proposals sometimes in excess of 100 pages. It's a very labor-intensive process. When I got into the industry, I didn't even know it existed, because I came from another position where my title was communications coordinator, and I wore a bunch of different hats. I planned trade shows, wrote newsletters, press releases, helped with creating brochures and other marketing pieces. And I was there for 7 years, loved the position, but I knew there was no potential for growth. So I decided I needed to leave. And I applied for a job at a architectural firm, and it was called marketing coordinator. I was like, okay, this should be similar. And I went to interview for it, and they told me that it would be similar. First day I show up, and I was like, whoa, wait, what y'all want me to do? It was completely different. I was reading documents that were 50 plus pages, so that I can figure out what the instructions were for my submittal and create.
Put you right to sleep.
It is a very detailed process, but even though I definitely love making my YouTube videos, the fact that there's a lot of people, I didn't even know that position existed until I got in it. And it's very lucrative because there's not a lot of people in that field. When I was in college, there wasn't a major called proposal manager. And so essentially, I feel as though I will forever have a job, because somebody can always use my skills. Yeah. And I bring in millions of dollars for companies. So
You're bringing in the big bucks. Cool. That's great, though, because that's another point of this show, is to expose the listeners to careers they may have never considered, they didn't know existed. But it's certainly hearing people like your career and other people I interview, and make the listeners may think, hey, I can do that too, or it opened up their eyes to exploring different careers. So that's really cool.
Yes, definitely look into it if you're looking for something, if you like to write and like to read, but you also have to be creative. Yeah. Because I do have to get creative with selling my company to win these contracts. I use InDesign to create it, so I get to lay out templates and make things colorful and create graphics. So there are some fun aspects to it. And in the position that I have now, it's not just proposals. I also, I'm responsible for website maintenance. I'm going to be creating a whole new website for the company once I come off maternity leave.
Wow.
I do groundbreakings and ribbon cuttings once the projects are completed, social media manager. So there's a lot that I do in my current position versus the last couple I had. I was strictly into proposals, and I was like, oh Lord, I need to switch it up a little bit, a little variety.
So you're a lot more happier and less stressed in this new position. So tell the listeners how you balance both being an entrepreneur, doing a YouTube channel, and having a 9-to-5, and now being a mom.
Time
and a wife. Can't forget that part.
Man, listen, busy juggling multiple balls. Time management is essential. A lot of people have asked me, like, how do you do everything that you do? Like, I'd be tired just watching you do some of the stuff you do. But it's all about figuring out how can you multitask and what can you outsource. I know that there's a lot of people who like to watch cleaning videos on YouTube for whatever reason. I don't understand it.
Cleaning?
Yes, there's people who have channels where all they do is clean their house or clean different stuff, and people watch it and they have millions of subscribers and millions of views. And I'm just like, I'll be bored to death, child. I'm like, watching somebody clean, because I don't really clean my own house. I'm gonna be honest. We have a housekeeper who, comes and cleans the house. So that's why y'all probably never see a clean with me video on my channel. I typically cook whatever we're gonna have for dinner on Sunday for the week. So I'll cook a bunch of food and I don't have to worry about cooking again. Once I go back to work, I get off work at noon on Fridays. The baby will be in daycare until 6:30. So I have 6.5 hours to film, edit, or go get my nails done, or happy hour, whatever I want to do. So there's still some me time in there. But then I also have a great husband who helps out around the house. So I'm not doing this by myself. I don't understand how a lot of I do understand because y'all get it done, but single moms, single dads, y'all the real MVPs, because some days I'm overwhelmed when it's two of us. But just one of me, if it was just me, there's no way that I think that I would be able to have a career and also do YouTube, be a wife, be a mother. And I have a heck of a social life as well. So I'm a great friend, and I'm still, in communication with them to see what's going on with their life. But it definitely comes out to time management.
A good happy hour.
Yeah. As far as I multitask of everything. If I'm driving home from work, I'm on the phone talking because I'm going to be stuck in traffic for at least 45 minutes. So that's when I, handle a lot of business calls or just catching up with friends and family. But like I said, time management.
Okay. So what advice would you give to listeners who are maybe in a job they hate right now, or they want to do something else? Say they want to start a channel, they want to pursue something entrepreneurial. What advice would you give them?
All right. So I ain't gonna tell nobody just to quit their job. That's not the advice that I would say, because I did that once. And I'll come to that story in a little bit. But get your ducks in a row. Make sure that you're saving money so that you have the capital that you need to do what it is that you want to do. Because being an entrepreneur it can be expensive, to do it the right way. Granted, like I said earlier, work with what you have and make it work. But eventually, you're going to have to pay them bills somehow.
Bills keep coming.
So make sure that you have, money set aside to, pay those bills while you're trying to pursue the dream, whatever dream it is that you have.
Good advice, and it's something that I've learned over the past year, because I know I got laid off, and over the past year you spend a lot of money being an entrepreneur, and you also just have to realize now that I'm back working and still doing entrepreneurship, it's a lot less stress on me, because I know at least I have a guaranteed paycheck while I'm building my business. I'm not under as much pressure to get it done right away. I can take my time and do it right. And as my wife mentioned earlier, it's about quality. So I can focus more on quality versus just trying to get whatever pays. So certainly good advice.
And then also look for outlets in your current position that could be similar to what it is that you desire to do, so that you can get some on-the-job training essentially, or possibly, create a client in the process once you do decide to venture off and do your own thing. Because you'll be surprised if you speak with your supervisor or with HR or whatever, the opportunities that are actually available to you if you just do some research.
Right. And also the job you're doing, if those skills are transferable to what, it's kind of saying what you just said, it's transferable. Like you do marketing, it's transferable to your YouTube channel. You get to leverage those skills. So it's a win-win for your employer, a win for you. So that's a good thing to do. So what story did you have in mind? You mentioned about your first journey.
So I ended up in Dallas because I decided I wanted to become a wedding planner.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. I mentioned earlier that I'm from Toledo, Ohio. And the job that I was at, it was at that architectural firm. They sent me to Dallas, and I went to a conference at the Gaylord Hotel. Even though I had been to a lot of different places, I traveled extensively, no one ever in life has said, let's take a vacation to Dallas, Texas. I love it here. I see myself here forever. But I'm going to be honest, it's not typically a vacation spot. So when they sent me here, I was just wowed by the city. I thought it was very cosmopolitan. It was progressive compared to Ohio in the midst of a recession, which was, a lot of people were getting laid off. Roads were crumbling. Housing market took a nosedive. I came down to Dallas. I was like, wow, this is the land of milk and honey. And so when I went back to Toledo, I was like, you know what? I'm going to move to Dallas. And I had this epiphany while I was at work. And it was as if God told me, move to Dallas. And I'm like, well, what would I do? He's like, be an event planner. And I'm like, that's such a great idea. Why not? Because I had experience, creating fabulous events in my prior position. And I really enjoyed event planning. So I had some money saved. And literally, I had this epiphany in May, and I moved in October.
Wow.
And everything fell into line. I was able to rent out the house that I owned, find a new place to live in Dallas, and everything was great, except for when I got to Dallas, I couldn't find no clients because most wedding planners, event planners are hired off of referrals, and I knew absolutely nobody in the city. But in my mind, I'm like, I'm in marketing. I can drum up some business, but after 3 months, the bills started to come a little speedier. And I had to go ahead and get a job, but I was able to find a job right back in the same field once I did come to that realization.
Right. But did that experience, did it kind of like squash your entrepreneurial spirit?
It did not. Since then, I've had a couple other entrepreneurial ventures. The first one after that, it was called my event planning company was called Champagne Taste Events.
Okay.
After that, I did Dallas Shopping Fairy, which was essentially custom gift baskets and personal shopper for people. Because I can find a great deal. Y'all done seen some of my haul videos if you watch my YouTube channel. Honey, I can find stuff that was originally $100 on sale for $2 someplace.
It's a miracle work when it comes to them deals.
Yeah, and then I decided I wanted to make doggy t-shirts because I have a larger size dog. Well, she ain't that big, but she's the world's smallest boxer. But I didn't see a lot of t-shirts in her sizes in stores with, sayings that kind of push the envelope a little bit. So I created doggy style tees. Had some mild success with it, but I found that I was more passionate about YouTube. So this is where I've been putting my energy at.
Right. That's a good example because you try different adventures and you realize, even though you may be making money, you may realize like your heart's not really there, you're not passionate about it, but you just keep going. You figure out what you are passionate about. And that's what you did. You didn't let that first, second, third experience say, okay, I'm done. You kept going. Now you found what you're passionate about. That's what this channel is all about. So follow your passions and lead to your dream career. And once you're making them big bucks on YouTube, it's gonna be your dream career. Legacy be on the beach. Hopefully I'm there too. I don't have to be at work. But yeah, I'm certainly looking forward to that. Now let's get into mentorship. What does mentorship mean to you?
Basically, showing somebody else the pitfalls to avoid so that they can achieve a greater level of success than you have. It's not about, so they can do what it is that you do. If you're gonna mentor somebody, your job should be to make sure that they go further than what you went, in my opinion.
Right. So what role have mentors played in your career?
Obviously, an important part. I definitely believe in mentorship. It's definitely important and it is needed. Everybody should have a mentor. I have a mentor in my actual career for my marketing manager position. And I even have a YouTube mentor because I belong to several groups on Facebook, and we all bounce ideas off each other and share ideas of what's working and what's not working, so that we can help each other, get further in this whole YouTube thing. But I definitely think that everybody should have a mentor.
Great. So certainly that knowledge sharing is very important, and your mentor could be at the same level as you, but like she mentioned, it's just you're sharing knowledge and you're learning as you go together. So that's a good opportunity for you to continue to grow.
To help you both, exceed your expectations.
Absolutely. So what are some challenges you've encountered so far being a YouTube star?
He keeps saying the word star, but I guess he put it in the atmosphere, and I like that. Mm-hmm. I think one of my biggest challenges is, getting people to see my videos. There's a billion people out there that watch YouTube every day, but there's also at least a good million people out there that make YouTube videos. So making sure that my content is seen over somebody else's is, pretty much the biggest challenge that I'm having now. I've had, great viewership, and I'm thankful for every view that I've had. I have over 20,000 views on my channel so far. But my goal is to get 20,000 views on one video. And that definitely is doable. It's all about getting those right keywords when I'm posting my video with that search engine optimization, and just marketing it, because I feel like I'm on the cusp. I'm on the cusp. One of them going viral, and everything can change once that happens.
Overnight, just a blink of an eye.
Yeah, because there's been there was a story that was going all around all my YouTube groups. There's a girl who pretty much got like a million YouTube subscribers in 3 days, and she only had 2 videos. And so her whole channel was about living out of a van. But people like, what they like.
Resonate.
Yeah.
I think the challenge too, when you have that overnight success, is knowing how to sustain it. So I'm not sure what she's doing now. Maybe she continued doing it well, but yeah, sometimes you get the overnight success. You don't know the formula, it just kind of happened. Now you got to try to maintain it and keep growing. That could be the real challenge. So it is kind of good to start from the bottom and work your way up. Then once you do get all those million subscribers and views, you know the formula. So you'll certainly keep it going.
Yeah, I'm grinding it out.
Grind. It's awesome. So Raquel, as we get ready to wrap up this interview, we'd really like to leave the listeners with just some words of wisdom. What would you tell the viewers as far as just pursuing their passions, or just what words of wisdom would you leave them with?
As I already mentioned, that I had several other business ventures before starting my YouTube channel, but this is the one that I'm the most passionate about. So my advice is find something that you're passionate about now. This is where I want to be clear. Just because you're passionate about it don't mean that you're going to make money doing it. And that's the difference with this business venture. Yes, eventually I do want to monetize it. Right now, I don't make a penny from it, may not ever make a penny from it, but I'm fine with that because I'm doing something that I'm passionate about. If you do something that you're passionate about, you can do it 50 episodes, you can do it 100 episodes, you can do it 800 episodes, you can do it 1,000. But if you do something that you're not passionate about, you are going to burn out and fizzle. And that is what happened with my other business ventures. Yeah, at first, I thought, oh, this would be a great idea. Doggy t-shirts, custom gift baskets. But once I'm in the trenches doing it every day, it's like, I really don't like making these t-shirts. I really don't like going shopping for other people. But with the YouTube channel, the passion is still there. And I started making videos, even though I didn't launch the channel until October. I started making the videos in July. So I've been filming for over a year at this point. I just had to hold the videos because I wanted to make sure that when I shared them, we were actually pregnant, because I didn't want to have to share, a miscarriage while I was going through the miscarriage. But if I would have, because I'm all about being transparent, it would have been shown, but just when I was ready to share that information. But so this is the longest that I've stuck with a business so far. And I call YouTube a business. Right? Like I said, I'm not making any money yet, but I'm perfectly fine if I never do. because I'm passionate about it.
But you have a solid plan to make money, and you know the money is there to be made. And a lot of entrepreneurs don't make money the first couple of years they're in business. So that's not uncommon. Money's going out the door, but you're not making money. You're building that clientele, you're building that brand. And then one day you wake up, then the money starts pouring in. So it's coming, but definitely some valuable advice you gave the listeners and practical, because it's easy to say follow your passions, but it's a lot more to it. You have to work for it. You have to really, really want it. So we certainly appreciate Requill Phillips coming on the Mentor Select podcast. You gave the listeners a lot of great advice and things that they can take action on today. Like Requill said, whatever you want to do, start today. What a fantastic interview with Requill Phillips, the host of the Phillips Fam Baby Journey YouTube channel. Be sure to check it out. She releases a new episode every Sunday and is very insightful. Like Requill mentioned, she's transparent. She is as real as they come, and Requill is just really passionate about sharing value with the people that tune in to her channel and just inspiring and empowering anyone who she can help out. So be sure, if you're interested in starting a YouTube channel, reach out to her. Or if you're interested in the marketing career field, reach out to Requill as well. I include her information in the show notes, but the best place to find her is on YouTube. She's very responsive. So be sure to reach out to her and let her know what resonated with you about this interview. And just like I say, any questions you have. And like she mentioned, she's very passionate about mentorship. So take advantage of every resource you can get, Mentor Select listeners. So that's pretty much people helping you along your journey so you can be successful and accomplish all of your dreams and goals. Well, I'll be back next week with another guest mentor, but don't forget to pick up my book, Poverty Powerball. It's on Amazon. The price is $12, and I really appreciate your support.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Mentor Select podcast, helping you identify and follow your passions. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit mentorselect.com and Mentor Select on social media. If you enjoyed today's episode, please rate and review. We'll catch you next time.